Go. Okay, this is the bandsaw. This is a very efficient and simple machine for cutting thick pieces of metal, for pipe, for anything really. We could actually cut all our plate steel for our welding on this. As a matter of fact, the first 2 years that I taught here, this is the only thing we used to cut all that metal we used to weld. And then we got the iron worker and the rest is history. Realistically now for this class, the only thing we're going to use to cut or use this to cut is going to be our aluminum bar, whether it's the round stock or the square stock for the mill. Real simple machine. You see all these yellow things on here? What does that mean, Dustin? Louder. Don't put your hands in there, you're going to get cut. Okay? Back here we've got pulleys, wheels. Okay? Take a look on the inside, you've got a wheel. You don't want to get your finger caught between the blade and the wheel because it's going to pop it right off. That's guaranteed. Okay, so it's yellow for a reason. Here's our safety kick switch. Make sure it's running. Okay? Big thing to do with this is get it on your mark, take your vise and tighten it. You want to make sure that your vise is tight. If this thing does not get tightened, especially with the round stock, it's going to sit and spin. Okay, you don't want that. So before you even fire this thing up, make sure that your clamp is tight. Okay, should be good to go. As you can see, I've got it propped up right now. All I have to do is release the valve and I can adjust how fast it cuts. This thing does a good job. We have aluminum only blades in there, so I just open it wide open and it just cuts at its own speed. Okay, get this out of our way, that'd be a trip hazard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it, lift it up, start it, release the feed, and just let it cut on its own. Don't let it slam down or drop onto the metal because that'll snap the blade. And then just nice and easy, let it do its job. This is probably the most boring thing you're going to do because all you do is sit and watch. Okay? One thing you don't want to do is apply pressure here. Don't push. Yes, it will make it cut faster, but that's not what we're looking for. It's also harder on the blades, harder on your project, and there's a really good chance that you'll snap the blade. So you do not want to apply pressure here to make it cut faster, although it does work. Okay? So we're just going to wait, make sure my feet is set where I want it, and just wait for it to do its job. Do I have a piece of round stock on that table, Phil?
Yeah.
Perfect. Pick out the Brett. Brett's going to cut a piece of round stock. Like I said, there's not much you can do. Now, while I'm waiting for this, should I maybe go get my safety glasses on and go get some other stuff and a micrometer for my project and all that stuff? Why not? Tanner, what do you think? You don't ever leave a machine when it's running. Good. That's exactly right. Someone might come up here with hearing problems or whatever, might not hear this, they might reach in here to grab something. If it's running, it's probably not going to cut your arm off immediately. It would take some time, but they could definitely get a good cut and get hurt and maybe lose a finger or something. It turns off automatically when it's done. It's got the switch set up for that. Okay? Cut ourselves a nice piece of aluminum stock. What did it take us? Probably about a minute to do. So, like I said, it's kind of boring, but you have to stay here. You have to monitor and don't make it work harder or faster because you're going to ruin something. Okay? Brett, why don't you cut me off approximately a 12-inch piece of that? Nope, that. They're all stock. Just approximate. It's okay. Guesstimate. I would go right there. That's about 14 inches. That's fine. Now, don't grab here because you got the blade. It's got a handle back here. Make sure you use that handle. Just go ahead and lift it all the way up. Tighten that valve, that brass valve down there. Yep. Okay, now that will fall. What you want to do is you want to set it back down on that hydraulic valve. Okay, go ahead and tighten it all the way. There you go. Now if we set it down, we'll hold it up. That's a good point. Don't leave it up like this. Someone comes by and bumps it, boom, it's going to come down. It's going to catch right there, but what of yours, arm, shoulder, whatever is going to be in the middle. So make sure that you get it up on your way and not too high. Let's just go ahead and pull that knot back. Right there. How do you tighten it? Push. What I do is I push it in. Yep, push it in. Good. Okay, lift it up. Go ahead and you can loosen that valve. the other wrist. There you go. We're struggling with that today, aren't we? Yep, flip the switch down. Just nice and easy onto the metal. And again, sit and wait for it to make its cut and do its work. That's all you can do. Just make sure you don't walk away. Now again, yellow, spinning danger. Keep your fingers and hands away from this. Yellow down here, that's where the blade is traveling. You don't want to get your hands caught up in there. And it's just a matter of sitting and waiting for the work to be done. You're only realistically going to make 2 cuts on this machine. Now if you screw something up, you might have to make 3, and let's hope not 4. Because at that point, at 3, you're going to start buying this aluminum because it's not cheap. Kind of boring stuff, isn't it? Just gotta wait for it to do its work. It's not like the mill or the lathe where you're actually turning cranks and making measurements and doing stuff. This, you really can only just sit and watch and enjoy. It's gonna be nice to have some butterflies floating around here. That would distract us with the breath. Okay, when it's done, it shuts off. Go ahead, you can grab your stock, take the old one out because that would be a trip hazard for someone walking by or falling on your toe. Okay, and then just you would take that material with you and we can leave the rest, for the next person. So, real simple. Are there any questions on the bandsaw? Big thing is keep your hands and fingers away from these cut and pinch points. This would be a pinch point in here. That would be a cut point. And don't, whatever you do, push down, hang a bucket of sand, or anything crazy like that to make it work faster. Because yes, it will work faster, but you will break blades, possibly get hurt doing so. Are there any questions? Pretty simple? All right, well, we'll move on.